The rain streaked down the calf windows as James Thornton checked his watch for the third time in 10 minutes. His business partner had insisted he try this blind date app, promising it would help him meet someone who did not know about his wealth or status. At 36, James had built a software empire worth billions. But dating had become impossible. Women either wanted his money or were intimidated by it. He was about to leave when he saw her enter a blonde woman in business attire, scanning the calf nervously. But she was not alone. She held the hand of a little girl with curly red hair, maybe 4 years old, wearing a pink dress and looking around with wide eyes. The woman spotted James and hesitated, clearly debating whether to approach. Finally, she walked over. "James?" she asked uncertainly. "Yes. And you must be Sarah?" She nodded, her cheeks flushing. "I am so sorry. I know this is completely inappropriate for a first date. My babysitter canceled at the last minute, and I could not reach you to reschedule. I was going to just not show up, but that seemed rude. I understand if you want to leave." James looked at the little girl, who was watching him with cautious interest. "What is your name?" he asked her gently. "Lily," she said softly. "Are you my mommy's friend?" "I hope to be," James said, surprising himself. He pulled out a chair. "Please, sit down. Both of you." Sarah looked stunned. "Are you sure? I mean, bringing my daughter to a first date is probably the worst impression I could make. Or the most honest one," James said. "Sit, please." As they settled in, Lily climbed onto her chair and immediately started coloring on the paper placemat the waiter brought. Sarah ordered tea and a hot chocolate for Lily, her hands shaking slightly. "I really am sorry about this," Sarah said again. "I am a single mom, and sometimes things just fall apart at the last second. My sister was supposed to watch Lily, but she got called into work, and my neighbor was not home. And I just..." "Sarah," James interrupted gently. "It is fine, really." They talked awkwardly at first, the conversation stilted, with Lily between them asking questions and showing her coloring. But gradually, James found himself relaxing. Sarah was a corporate attorney at a mid-sized firm, working long hours to support herself and Lily. She was smart, funny, and completely unpretentious. "Lily's father?" James asked carefully. Sarah's expression hardened slightly. "Left when I told him I was pregnant. Said he was not ready for that kind of responsibility. I have not heard from him in 4 years. I am sorry." "Do not be. We are better off without him." She smiled at Lily. "We make a good team, just the two of us." Lily looked up from her coloring. "Mommy works really hard. Sometimes she is tired and falls asleep reading me stories. But she always makes sure I have everything I need." The simple statement made James's chest tighten. He thought about his own childhood, privileged and comfortable, never worrying about whether his parents could provide for him. They had been talking for about 45 minutes when Sarah's phone buzzed. She checked it and her face fell. "What is wrong?" James asked. "My client just emailed. There is an emergency with the case I am working on. I need to go into the office tonight to prepare documents for a filing tomorrow morning." She looked at Lily, then at James. "I am so sorry. This date has been a complete disaster." She started gathering Lily's coloring supplies, her movements rushed and stressed. "Come on, sweetie. We have to go." But as Sarah stood to leave, Lily looked at James with tears in her eyes. "Do not leave," she said to him. "You are the only one who came." The word stopped both adults in their tracks. "What do you mean, honey?" Sarah asked gently. "At my birthday party last month, I invited 6 friends from preschool, and nobody came. Not one person. I waited and waited, but you are the only one who came to my party." Lily looked at James. "You did not leave, even though mommy brought me. Please do not leave now." James felt something break open in his chest. He looked at this little girl, who had experienced rejection from her peers, and was now begging a stranger not to abandon her mother. He sat back down and reached for Lily's hand. "I am not leaving," he said firmly. Sarah stared at him. "James, you do not have to do this. We will be fine. I know you will be fine. But I want to help." He pulled out his phone. "What if I watch Lily while you go to your office? You work. I will stay here with her. We will color and have dinner, and when you are done, you come back." I cannot ask you to do that, Sarah protested. You barely know us. You're not asking. I am offering. James smiled at Lily. What do you say? Want to show me how to color inside the lines? I am not very good at it. Lily nodded enthusiastically. Sarah looked between them, clearly torn. Sarah, James said seriously, I understand if this seems strange, but I mean it. Go handle your emergency. Lily will be safe with me. We will stay right here in this public cafe. You can check in by phone whenever you want. After a long moment, Sarah made a decision. She knelt down to Lily's level. Baby, I need you to be very good for Mr. James, okay? Mommy will be back in a few hours. Okay, Mommy. I will show him all my colors. Sarah left with visible reluctance, glancing back multiple times. Once she was gone, James found himself alone with the 4-year-old girl he had just met. So, he said, what should we color first? The next 3 hours were unlike anything James had experienced. He and Lily colored together, ordered chicken fingers for dinner, and talked about everything from her favorite cartoons to why the sky was blue. Lily asked him a million questions, and James found himself answering with complete honesty. Do you have any kids? Lily asked. No, I work a lot, so I have not had time to have a family. That is sad. Kids are really fun. You should get some, James laughed. Maybe someday. When Sarah returned, looking exhausted but relieved, she found James and Lily building a tower out of sugar packets, while the cafe staff watched with amusement. Mommy, Lily ran to her. Mr. James taught me how to build towers, and he let me have 2 desserts, and he told me about computers. Sarah looked at James with tears in her eyes. Thank you. I do not even know how to thank you properly. You do not have to thank me, James said. I had a wonderful time. As they walked out of the cafe together, James carrying Lily because she was tired, Sarah spoke quietly. Why did you really stay? Most men would have run the moment they saw I brought my daughter. James looked at Lily, already falling asleep against his shoulder. Because she asked me not to leave. Because she said I was the only one who came. How could I disappoint her after hearing that? Over the following months, James and Sarah dated properly, though Lily was often part of their outings. James discovered he loved being around Lily, her honesty, her curiosity, her complete lack of pretense. And Sarah showed him what real strength looked like, balancing single motherhood with a demanding career. 6 months after that rainy first date, James took Sarah and Lily back to the same cafe. While Lily colored at their usual table, James got down on one knee. Sarah, that first night, Lily told me not to leave, because I was the only one who came. I did not fully understand then what she meant, that you both had been let down so many times before. But I understand now. He pulled out a ring. I want to be the one who always shows up, the one who stays, the one you can count on, even when everything falls apart. Will you marry me? Will you let me be Lily's father and your partner for the rest of our lives? Through her tears, Sarah nodded. Yes, but only if you promise to always remember that you chose us knowing exactly what you were. Getting a package deal with chaotic schedules and last-minute emergencies. That is exactly what I am choosing, James said, because that chaos taught me what love actually looks like. Lily jumped up from her coloring. Does this mean Mr. James is going to be my daddy? If that is okay with you, James said. Lily threw her arms around him. Yes, because you are the only one who came to Mommy's date, and you stayed even when it was hard. That means you are a keeper. At their wedding, Lily was flower girl. In his vows, James said, I came to a blind date expecting nothing. I found everything. Thank you, Lily, for asking me not to leave. Thank you, Sarah, for showing me that the best things in life are worth staying for. If this story reminded you that showing up matters more than perfection, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment about when someone stayed when they could have left.